Hello all. Today I would like to discuss you another national health program. Mainly I am going to deal on National Diabetes Control Program. So without wasting, just we can go into the topic here. So first of all, you should know what is this diabetes. So then only we can know how we can control the diabetes, and just I want to give you some brief explanation regarding diabetes, and then I will continue with the topic, that is National Diabetes Control Program. So coming to the topic here, diabetes. So what is this diabetes? So it is a disease which is mainly caused in the body due to increased level of blood sugar or blood glucose in the bloodstream. So it is mainly, it can cause by different types, but most primarily the insulin plays a major role in the disease diabetes. Major role is mainly played by the hormone insulin, which is produced in the body. So the insulin, it is a hormone which is there, means which facilitates the consumption of glucose levels in the body. So whenever it is failing, there will be retention of glucose or blood sugars in the bloodstream. That is causing to a condition which is known as diabetes mellitus. So coming to the topic here, you should know first of all how many types of diabetes are there. You should know how many types of diabetes are there. So we have mainly three major types. The first one is type 1 diabetes mellitus, which is also known as insulin dependent diabetes mellitus, mellitus. And the other one is called as type 2, which is also known as non-insulin dependent diabetes mellitus. And the third one is gestational diabetes. So coming to the type 1 diabetes here, here mainly the body is failing to produce the required amount of hormone insulin. Here the body is failing to produce the required amount of hormone. And this was a rare disease, and it is mainly occurring in the children. It is a rare disease which is mainly occurring in the children. So as it is occurring in the children, it is also called as juvenile diabetes mellitus. And it is occurring in less than 10% of the people. And it is mainly occurring in the children. That's why it is also called as juvenile diabetes mellitus. So coming to the see here, you can see in the picture clearly 90% of the cases were in the type 2 cases, means adult cases. 90% of the cases are adult cases, and type 1 it is mainly occurring in the children. So it is also called as juvenile diabetes mellitus. Coming to the type 2 diabetes, this is the most common type of diabetes, and in this one, in which the body cells show resistance to insulin hormone. So as I said earlier, the insulin, it is a hormone which facilitates the entry of the glucose into the cell. Insulin is a hormone which facilitates the entry of the glucose into cell. Mainly the consumption of the glucose which is produced in the body is facilitated by hormone insulin. So whenever the insulin is failing here, the blood sugar levels which were increased in the body, the cells are not consuming them, means the body cells show resistance to the insulin hormone, so that the blood sugar which is there in the body is not consumed by the body. So it is leading to the diabetes mellitus. So ultimately there is increase in the blood sugar levels, and it is causing to the condition which is called as type 2 diabetes. Here the type 2 diabetes, it is also called as non-insulin dependent diabetes mellitus, which is also known as NIDDM. What is the type 1? It is called as insulin dependent diabetes mellitus, because there the production of insulin is absent. But coming to the type 2 diabetes here there is adequate production of this hormone insulin, but what is the main reason? The cells. Suppose if you take, this is a cell here, you can consider all these are cell organelles, and this is cytoplasm. The insulin it will act as a gate chamber here, and it will facilitate the entry of glucose. It is facilitating the entry of glucose. But here the cell itself, it is showing resistance to the insulin, where the glucose is unable to enter into the body. Here there is adequate number of insulin is present, but the cell is showing resistance towards the insulin, which is leading to non-absorption of the glucose, which is accumulating the blood sugar in the bloodstream. It is causing to the condition which is known as diabetes mellitus, and it is the most prevalent type of diabetes, and it is mainly accounting for 90% of the total number of people with diabetes. So here you can see 90% of the population are suffering with type 2 diabetes, and 10% of the people who are having diabetes are having type 1 type of diabetes. This type 1 occurs in children. This type 1 is mainly occurring in children. It is occurring in the adult. Type 2, it is occurring in the adult. Coming to the gestational diabetes. So what do you mean by gestational? So the pregnant women, they are called as, the pregnant days, we will count them as a gestational age. So the diabetes which is caused due to the presence of pregnancy or during the pregnancy period, it is termed as gestational diabetes. So you can see it in the picture here I have included. So whenever a pregnant woman is suffering with the diabetes, here you will consider them as a gestational diabetes mellitus. It is another type of diabetes mellitus which is exclusively found in pregnant women, and this is much rarer form of diabetes. So during the pregnancy, there are lot of hormonological changes which are occurring in the body, which is eventually leading to the condition which is known as gestational diabetes mellitus. Coming to the condition here, so the diabetes, it is the major cause of premature illness and death worldwide. So it is one of the major cause which is leading to the death in the worldwide. The diabetes prevalence is increasing in every country in the world, and the toll is climbing in terms of human lives as well as cost to society. So what is the statement mean here? Diabetes. So due to the lifestyle changes which had occurred in the human beings, so what we are doing, it had become a major problem in every country. Why? Because there are more consumption of junk food compared to the previous, and there is more sedentary life compared to the previous, which is leading to the major cause for increase of diabetes mellitus in the society, and it is ultimately causing the burden to the person, burden to the economy, burden to the country also. So this diabetes mellitus, it is a disease which is characterized by what? High blood sugar levels. And as I said, there are two types. It can occur due to the lack of insulin, and it can occur due to the resistance towards the insulin, which is called as type 2. So these are some common symptoms which are associated with this diabetes mellitus. Means they are having hunger, frequent urination is present, and increased thirst is there. So while type 1 diabetes, it is usually genetic, and type 2 diabetes is mainly caused due to the lifestyle factors. So type 1 is mainly depending upon the production. Which production? Insulin production in the body. Whenever the beta Langerhans cells are unable to produce the required amount of insulin in the body, then the condition is leading to type 1 diabetes mellitus. If there is adequate production of the production of insulin, but there is no adequate consumption of the sugars which were present in the body, then it is leading to a condition which is called as type 2 diabetes mellitus, and it is mainly caused due to the lifestyle factors. So it is one of the most common lifestyle diseases which is plaguing the people in developed countries, and often has a causal link to heart diseases, hypertension and obesity. So the people who are having the heart diseases, hypertension, obesity, so due to the sedentary life, these persons are having this type of diseases, which is also causing the other disease which is known as diabetes mellitus. So due to the sedentary life, people in the developed countries, they are having some heart diseases, hypertension and obesity. Coming to diabetes mortality here, about 4.8 million people died due to diabetes in the year 2012, and half of the people who die of diabetes under the age of 60%. So mainly the death rate is very high. About 4.8 million people had died due to the condition which is known as diabetes mellitus, and the people who died are less than means under the 60 years of age, and worldwide only half of the people with diabetes are diagnosed. So a significant number already have serious medical complications associated with hyperglycemia, and by the time they see a doctor. So worldwide about half of the people in the world now are diagnosed to have a hyperglycemia. That means increased glucose levels in the body, which is causing a serious medical complication, So you can see top 10 countries with diabetes mellitus per million population. China, it is having 92.3. India, the next to China, we are having 63.30. After that, US is standing with 24.1, Brazil 13.4 million, and Russian Federation, it is having 12.7 million, Mexico 10.6 million, Indonesia 7.6, Egypt 7.5, Japan 7.1, and Pakistan they have 6.6. So this is the most number of people with diabetes mellitus in the top 10 country wise. Coming to the global scenario here for the diabetes mellitus, the prevalence is 4% in 1995, and it will be like 5.4% in the year 2025, and 2% to 5% in Western communities, and in developing countries the prevalence may be raised to 10 to 20% also. Coming to the India, the prevalence rate, it is 2.1% in 1992, and in 2001 the prevalence rate went to 12.4. In southern India, studies showed that 40% increased prevalence over a period of 6 years of time. So what is the magnitude of the problem here? It is a chronic disease and it needs lifelong treatment. So once a person is affecting with the diabetes mellitus, he should take the treatment for lifelong, and it is causing heart diseases, and the heart disease in diabetes mellitus is about 21.4. Any person who is being diagnosed with the diabetes mellitus, the prevalence rate of the heart disease is also increasing, and it is about 21.4%. And neuropathy, it is of 17.5%. Peripheral vascular disease, it is from 6.3% to 30%. Retinopathy, it is of 19%, and microalbuminuria, it is of 26.3%. So this is the magnitude of problem. India, it is experiencing a rapid health transition with a rising burden of non-communicable diseases. So India mainly it is facing a rapid health transition, mainly due to the non-communicable diseases, and overall these non-communicable diseases, these are the emerging and leading cause for the death in the country, which is accounting for about 42% of all deaths registered on the India. So here what is the statement is saying, in India this non-communicable diseases became a major headache. This non-communicable diseases had become a major headache. So previously they have concentrated on the communicable diseases, but nowadays due to the lifestyle modification, due to the sedentary life, and due to the food habits, what is happening? There are these non-communicable diseases, they are emerging as a leading cause for death in the country, and it is accounting for over about 42% of all deaths. So it was given by Registrar General of India. So these non-communicable diseases cause significant morbidity and mortality both in urban and rural population, with a considerable loss in potentially productive years, that is aged from 35 to 64 years of life. So the persons who are dying with this disease, non-communicable diseases, mainly the age group is of 35% to 46, 35 to 44, 64 years of age. 35 to 64 years of age, and most probably it is the major cause for mortality and morbidity in both urban and rural areas. Coming to the program, National Diabetes Control Program. Coming to the program, National Diabetes Control Program here. So this National Diabetes Control Program, so based on the alarming figures. The government of India had started diabetes mellitus control program on a pilot basis during the 5th 5-year plan in 1987. When it was started? It was started during the 5th 5-year plan in 1987. Mainly they started in Tamil Nadu, Jammu and Kashmir and Karnataka. They started in Tamil Nadu, Jammu Kashmir and Karnataka. And in the year 1995 to 1996, 12 lakhs were allocated, and in the year 1997 to 1998, 1 crore rupees were allocated. So this is the National Diabetes Control Program. When it was started? It was started in the year 1987 in the districts of Tamil Nadu, Jammu Kashmir and Karnataka. And in 1995 to 1996, 12 lakhs were allocated for this program, and from 1997 to 1998, 1 crore of rupees were allocated for the program. So coming to the program, the government of India started National Diabetes Control Program on a pilot basis. They have conducted in a pilot basis during the 5th 5-year plan, mainly Tamil Nadu, Jammu Kashmir and Karnataka. And due to paucity of the funds, means due to the lack of funds in subsequent years, the program could not be expanded further in remaining areas. So due to the decrease in the funds, due to the lack of funds, the subsequent events in the subsequent years in the program, they could not have been expanded further in the remaining years. So what are the objectives of the program here? So coming to the objectives of the program here, prevention of diabetes through identification of high risk subjects and early intervention in the form of health education. So mainly they want to give the health education. So they want to prevent the diabetes mainly through identification of high risk subjects. They want to identify mainly through high risk, what are the high risk subjects, and they want to go for early intervention and by through giving health education. And second one is early diagnosis of the disease and appropriate treatment for morbidity, mortality with reference to high reference group. Third one is prevention of acute and chronic metabolic, cardiovascular, renal and ocular complication which is associated with the disease. So whenever the person is entering into the greater state of this diabetes mellitus, it is directly affecting the metabolic activity, cardiovascular activity, renal activity and ocular, means which is dealing to the vision. They are causing lot of complications in the disease. So they want to mainly focus on these type of diseases. And next one is provision of equal opportunity for physical attainment and scholastic achievement for diabetic patients. And next one is rehabilitation of those partially or totally handicapped diabetes mellitus people. Next one is the ultimate aim is to integrate control of diabetes into that of hypertension and heart diseases. So they want to integrate the control of diabetes mellitus into hypertension and heart diseases program. Next one is risks for the diabetes are included in the integrated disease surveillance project of 2004. In 2004, what they have done, they have included the risk factors for diabetes mellitus into integrated disease surveillance. So other thing you can do is screening of diabetes mellitus. So how you can screen the diabetes mellitus? Urine examination we can do and blood sugar testing we can do. Coming to the prevention here, first one is primary prevention. In primary prevention, they are taking the population strategy. Firstly, they are taking nutritional habits, maintenance of body weight, physical exercise, avoidance of sweet food. What is the primary prevention? Nutritional habits, maintenance of adequate maintenance of body weight, physical exercise and avoidance of sweet food. Second one is high risk strategy. So mainly the people who are having more high risk, their avoidance of overnutrition and obesity, and subject at risk should be avoided for diabetogenetic drugs. And next one is reduce the factors which were promoting atherosclerosis. Coming to the secondary prevention, proper management means once that this is primary prevention. In primary prevention, we have seen how to control mainly nutritional habits, maintenance of body weight, physical exercise, and avoidance of sweet food. In high risk strategy, we are avoiding the overnutrition and obesity. So we are identifying who are the high risk groups. Then you are identifying. We are avoiding which are causing the increased levels of sugars in the body. We are avoiding the drugs which are mainly causing the increased levels of sugars in the body, and we are also reducing the factors which were promoting the atherosclerosis. And coming to the secondary prevention, proper management of diabetes we have to do. We have to do the self care, and we have to go for home blood glucose monitoring. We have to go for home blood glucose monitoring. Coming to the tertiary prevention, so we have to prevent the complications of cardiomyopathy, retinopathy, neuropathy and nephropathy. So why in tertiary means the disease condition, the disease it had already increased in the body and it has caused major disturbances in the system. So at this time it is mainly affecting the cardiology system, it is affecting the retinal system, that is ocular system or visionary system, it is affecting the neurons, it is affecting the nephrons. So we have to prevent the complications during the tertiary prevention, and we have to do epidemiological researches and register for the diabetes mellitus. So this is regarding national diabetes mellitus. So it was introduced in the 5th 5-year plan, that is it was introduced in the 5th 5-year plan, that is from 1987, and during mainly they have started it in the Tamil Nadu, Jammu Kashmir and Karnataka, and from 1995 to 1996 12 lakhs of rupees were allocated. From 1997 to 1998 1 crore was allocated, and because of scarcity of the funds, because of lack of funds, they haven't expanded the program for further remainder years. So what are the objectives? They want to identify the high risk group and give health education. Early the diagnosis and appropriate treatment, the mortality morbidity can be decreased. Prevention of metabolic, cardiovascular, renal and ocular complications, giving equal opportunity for the physical attainment, which will for the diabetic patients, and rehabilitation. And they want to integrate the control of diabetes into hypertension and heart diseases, and as it was included in the surveillance project which had occurred in the year 2004. How you can screen the diabetes? Urine examination and blood sugar testing. Primarily we can prevent through food habits, maintaining the body weight, physical exercise and avoidance of sweet food. High risk strategy. So these people, mainly we have to avoid the overnutrition and obesity, and subjects who are at risk, they must avoid the diabetogenic drugs. And next one is reducing the promoting factors of atherosclerosis. Secondary prevention, we have to go for proper management of diabetes, which will prevent you to enter into the tertiary stage. We have to go for self care and home blood sugar management. Tertiary means we have to prevent the complications, cardiomyopathy, retinopathy, neuropathy and nephropathy. Thanks for listening. If you have any queries, you can contact me through my WhatsApp and through my email. Thank you so much. Please like, share and subscribe.